Hello everyone, welcome to the session. So today we will be doing figures of speech, right? So this is a very important topic for your exam point of view. And in this session, I will be covering all the relevant figures of speeches which are relevant from the point of view of your exam, right? So let's begin with today's class. So if you are new to our channel, please make sure to subscribe so that you get all the information in time and that's all. And please follow us on Instagram. You can join our Telegram group where you can get the PDFs of all the like practice material and different PDF and even the practice sheet for this class as well, right? Like if you're willing to take our mocks, feel free to click on the link given in the description, and this is our website link here. Okay. Now let's understand first of all what is figure of speech, right? So figure of speech is a literary device, right? It is uh, it employed vivid language to create imaginary and enhance in the understanding of the particular topic that you are talking about or the author is talking about. Just give me a minute. There's some issue. Yes, now it's perfect. Sorry. Yeah, so figure of speech are literary devices that employ vivid languages to create imaginary or enhance understanding. So see, author will be talking about some particular thing and then author will use figures of speech to create imagery or enhanced understanding. So in order to make you understand what the author is trying to say more clearly, right? So, figure of speech, they deviate from the ordinary use of words to convey meaning in a more impactful and imaginative way. So, when we say figure of speech and when we are using certain words, what we are doing, we are trying to convey a meaning of that particular thing in a more impactful and imaginative way, right? So, there are certain figures of speech. First of all, is personification. So, as the name suggests, personification, okay, means you are like comparing somebody as a person, right? What is personification? Let's understand this. So, personification is constructed by attributing certain human characteristics to otherwise inanimate objects. So, means the objects which are non human or which are inanimate, we like the author attributes certain human characteristics to those objects. Like for example, see, first let's understand attributing human qualities to non-human entities. You have to keep this thing in mind that in personification, human qualities are being attributed to non-human entities, right? So personification, what does this do? Personification brings inanimate objects or non-human objects to life, right? It brings non-human objects to life. Let's say examples. The wind. Now the author is talking about wind. Wind is howling. Howling is a sound, right? We all know that howling is a sound. So wind is howling. We know that there is no sound associated with wind as such. Wind is blowing, so wind does not make any sound. But when we are personifying wind, when we are giving him a human quality, we are saying that wind is howling. It is creating a sound. Then opportunity knocked at the door. Now opportunity. We do not know what opportunity looks like. We have not seen it. This is not a person. But opportunity knocked at the door. Again, we are associating a human quality with it. So we are personifying opportunity, right? Similarly, time flies when you are having fun. So here also, like giving a non-human entity a human quality, time flies when you are having fun. Sun smile down at us. Have you ever seen sun smiling? No. But we are personifying it. So we are using personification here. Sun smiled down at us. The story jumped off the page. Obviously, story is just reading. What you are reading, you are like telling a story. It jumped off the page. So not like this is like giving human quality to a non-human entity. Again, light danced on the surface of the water. So again, non-human entity giving human quality. Justice is blind and at time deaf. Personification. So I hope by the explanation and by the examples you are pretty clear what personification is, right? Next we have metaphor. Now, metaphor is used to compare two things. In personification, we were giving human quality to non-human things, right? Here, we are comparing two things that have something in common, but they are generally different from each other. So these two things, they have something in common but are different, right? Metaphor compares two things directly. In metaphor, you are comparing things directly and you are not using like or as. Means you are not using anything that implies, right? You are directly comparing two things. How? He is a star of our class. So they are directly saying that he is a star. He is not as good as, or he is not like a star. No, he is a star of our class. Her eyes were diamonds. Now, eyes were diamonds. So here it is a metaphor. They are directly saying that her eyes were diamonds. They are not comparing eyes to diamonds, right? They are just like directly comparing. Sorry, they are not indirectly comparing, they are directly comparing. Moreover, they are not, see, personification and metaphor. I'll give you a difference with this example. In personification, we give non human entity some human quality, right? So here, eyes belong to human, diamond is a non-human entity. So it's not like we are comparing or we are giving diamond some human quality, but we are simply comparing eyes with the diamond. So this is not personification. Do not mistake these kind of sentences with personification. These are metaphor. We are where we are directly saying that eyes were diamonds. Understood? Then snow is a white blanket. So again, not indirectly comparing but directly saying that it is a white blanket, irrespective of anything. Then this is the icing on the cake. So a situation, right? It is there. See, if metaphor, not literally icing on the cake, not preparing cake literally, but it is the icing on the cake. Some situation might have occurred, and then something like some more good thing might have happened. So they are saying it is an icing on the cake, right? So it is again direct comparison. Then our soldiers were lions in the war. Direct comparison that they were lions in the war. They like fought bravely, or so on. Right? So they were in the war. Next, go for a walk or you'll become a couch potato. Not like or anything, but you will become a couch potato. Right? Direct comparison. Her mom warned her about the monsters in the world. Now, see, if you go by literal meaning, monster, we have seen we do not know what monsters look like, but if you go by the comic meaning of it, we know they look hideous or something like that. So her mom warned her about the monsters in the world. So they are comparing directly. Some people who are not good, they are comparing them with the monsters, right? Next, we have simile. Now, see, metaphor and simile have a great difference. If you are very much clear with the concepts, you will be able to distinguish between these two. And even if you are not clear with the concepts, just understand here itself in this session. I'm pretty sure by the end of the session, you will have a clear understanding of all the figures of speech. Okay. So, simile. What is simile? It is a figure of speech that compares two unlike things using the word like or as. So, in simile, like or as, these words are used. In metaphor, there is direct comparison. They are not using like or as. Understood? It helps to create vivid imagery and enhance understanding by drawing a connection between two seemingly unrelated things. Okay? Seemingly unrelated things. Simile uses indirect comparison. Simile is using what? Indirect comparison. So, examples are his response was as cold as ice. They are not saying his response was ice. They are saying his response was as cold as ice. Right? So, this is simile. After taking his medication, he became fit as a fiddle. As a fiddle. Indirect comparison. Then life is like a box of chocolate. Two seemingly different things, life and box of chocolates, obviously they are not related, they are not similar. So life is like a box of chocolate, right? This house is as clean as a whistle, as clean as. Manan and Naman fight like cats and dogs all the time. I am always as busy as a bee, right? The airplane soared like an eagle. So, did you understand the difference between metaphor and simile? In metaphor, we are directly comparing two things, right? And in simile, we are using indirect comparison. We are using like, as, these words. These are the most important words when like marking metaphor or simile. Understood? Next, we have alliteration. Alliteration involves repetition of the same consonant sound at the beginning of several words that are close together. It's not like one word is in one line and other words in the second line. These have to be close together. And now they are often used in poetry and other creative writing to create a musical effect and to emphasize certain words or phrases. So, see, why we are using figures of speech in poem or in storytelling? Why? To emphasize things, right? Example of alliteration: COVID-19 has caused depression, untold desperation, depression, and deaths. So DDD, alliteration. Next, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Again, alliteration PPP. Then Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Alliteration SSS. The big bad bear bored the baby bunnies but the bushes, by the bushes, right? Then again, Chaya closed her cluttered clothes closet. CCC. The city park was packed with people, right? The short soldier shoots straight. Again, SSS, PPP here, then CCC, then again BBB, and then SSS, PPP. So these are alliteration. What is it? Repetition of same consonant sound at the beginning of several words at the beginning, okay? At the beginning of several words that are close together. Understood? If you're liking the session, do like it and do subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. Now we are hyperbole. We are at hyperbole. So hyperbole is a figure of speech that involves exaggeration. So understand this thing. Hyperbole will be involving exaggeration. Some situation or something might be exaggerated. Why they're exaggerating it? To emphasize it or create an effect. Right? It is a way to make a point. So they are exaggerating something. Why? Because they want to make it more dramatic or humorous and they are overstating it. So anything that is, exaggerating or overstating something, that is hyperbole. Right? Examples: I have told you a million times not to touch my stuff. So obviously nobody can actually tell someone a million times to do something or not to do something. So it is just exaggerating, overstating something to make it more dramatic. Like, I have told you a lot of time, I have told you a million times not to touch my stuff, and still you are doing that. Right? That documentary went on forever. That documentary might have went on for a longer period of time, or maybe it might be boring that nobody is enjoying, but obviously it cannot go on forever. So again, mentioning that the documentary went on forever is overstating this and exaggerating the fact, right? So hyperbole is exaggerating, creating like emphasize creating emphasize or giving some like overstating humorous or dramatic effect, right? Then, she's so sweet you could get a cavity from talking to her. Again, she's so sweet you could get a cavity from talking to her. Exaggerating that she's very sweet. Then, he walks as slowly as a turtle. No, nobody can walk as slowly as a turtle. Right? So, again, overstating, exaggerating. Then, I have seen the movie 1,000 times. Again, the pen is mightier than the sword. Right? The man is as tall as the house. No, as tall as the house. They might be, again, overstating, making it dramatic that this person has a good height. So it cannot be, the height cannot be as tall as the house, right? Now, next we come to Euphemism. What is euphemism? When there is a bad news or some harsh thing or something offensive, and you want to replace it with something polite. Okay, not just throwing words but being polite and expressing something indirectly, that is euphemism, right? So this is polite or indirect expression, and they used to replace a word or phrase that is considered what? Harsh, unpleasant or offensive, right? So euphemism, you have to replace harsh, unpleasant, offensive words with polite and indirect expression. What is it? Way to soften a difficult topic or avoid saying something directly. So here you are softening difficult topic and you are not saying something directly. Examples of euphemism: she has passed away instead of died. We do not say she has died. We use we use polite way of saying this. We use she has passed away, right? The company has let him go instead of fired him. Indirect expression, polite way of saying, right? You are not old. We do not say you are old. We say you are over the hill, right? Then he's between jobs. We do not say he's unemployed. We use this phrase between jobs, right? The shirt is economical. We do not use cheap. Shirt is not cheap, it is economical. Okay. Golden years instead of golden age. Big boned instead of large, right? So again, euphemism, polite, indirect. See, for these figure of speeches, what you can do is just write the name and then the important words or phrases. Like associate euphemism with polite or indirect expression. Metaphor with direct comparison. Simile with indirect comparison. Personification, associating human qualities to non-human objects, right? These kind of things. So you will not make any mistake and try to revise these things repeatedly, because sometimes you might get confused, but if you are clear on the concepts, there are chances that you might not get confused at all. Okay. Next we have irony. See, irony, it is very simple to understand, because there would be something sarcastic comment, right? Or something that is not happening as expected. So it is a contrast between what is expected and what actually happens. Okay, what was expected and what actually happens, the contrast between these two events, between happening of these two events, is the irony. What can it do? It can create humor, it can create surprise or a deeper meaning, right? So irony is a powerful tool that can add depth and complexity to a story or a conversation. Simply, it can be used to highlight social issues, to criticize human behavior, or simply to entertain. So criticizing human behavior in a sarcastic way, right? Using irony with it. So example of irony would be: during a thunderstorm, Vikram exclaimed, what beautiful weather we are having. So obviously thunderstorm is not a beautiful weather, so Vikram is exclaiming this, that what beautiful weather we are having. So this is irony. One side it is a thunderstorm, and other side he's saying that it is a beautiful weather, right? Gaurav proposed a useless idea, to which Tarun responded, that's genius. Again, criticizing human, something that other person has done, but in a sarcastic way, ironical way. Then coming home to a big mess and saying, it's great to be back. Irony. Coming home and he sees that there is a big mess, maybe some some situation is not right, and he's like, it's great to be back. So he's not liking really to be back. A person eating sweets while preaching about healthy eating. Ironic. Okay. Telling a rude customer to have a nice day. Ironic. Because obviously, when somebody is rude or a customer is rude, the other person would not want them to have a nice day. But still, they are having, well, just to have a nice day, it is ironic. Then, Meeta is a flight attendant, but she's terrified of heights. Irony. She has to travel every single day. She's a flight attendant and she's terrified of heights. Right? So, then a police station is robbed. Irony. Police station is being robbed. So I hope you guys are understanding these figures of speech. And if there is any doubt, just let me know, right? Now we come to oxymoron. What is oxymoron? It combines two contradictory or opposite words. Two words which are opposite. Okay. So these contrasting words create a surprising and thought-provoking effect. So what are they doing? They are creating surprising or thought-provoking effect. Oxymoron often use a literature, poetry, and everyday language to create sense of irony, humor, or emphasis. How? This is another fine mess you have got into us. So a mess is not fine. Fine mess, two opposite words, they are like clubbed together. So this is oxymoron. Suddenly, the room filled with the deafening silence. So silence is not deafening. Some loud noise might be deafening. Silence is already like absolute silence. Okay, it cannot be deafening. So again, two different words coming together, oxymoron. Then comedian was seriously funny. So either somebody is serious or somebody is funny. So he was seriously funny. Oxymoron, two different words. Then you are clearly confused. So either you are clear or you are confused. Clearly confused. Then dog is found missing. So either the dog is found or the dog is missing. Dog is found missing is oxymoron. They are using two contradictory or opposite words together, right? Small crowd. Crowd cannot be small. Crowd consists of a lot of people. So small crowd gathered to watch the concert. Okay. This is a genius imitation of Nike shoes, right? Next we come to onomatopoeia. Now, onomatopoeia is also like I would say it is one of the easiest basically. So how? Let's see. Onomatopoeia is a figure of speech where words imitate the sounds they represent. They imitate the sound that they are representing. These words create vivid auditory experience, making the writing more engaging and immersive. By using onomatopoeia, writers can add a layer of sensory detail to their work. Understand? Auditory experience, sensory detail, right? So why are they make like adding sensory detail? Because they are making it more realistic or evocative, right? Like animal sound, mew, woof, hiss, quack, moo, etc. Action sound, some action is happening, bang, boom, crash, sizzle, pop, etc. Natural sound, rustling, gurgle, whoosh, splash, drip, etc. So the sounds, whenever sounds are used, then we are saying it is onomatopoeia. Yes, that also. So yes, a very good example of oxymoron, veg biryani. So yeah, that's a pulao basically. Yeah, so good one. Now, example, the sizzling bacon filled the kitchen with delicious aroma. So, see, they have used the sound sizzling with the bacon. So, we can actually like hear it, the sizzling sound when the bacon is being like let on the pan. So, there's a sizzling sound, or anything that is let on the pan, maybe jeera when you're frying it. So, sizzling sound. So, sound is associated with this. So, onomatopoeia. Next, crackling fire. Again, sound. Warm the room on a colder winter night. Right? Then buzzing bees flew from flower to flower. Now, this is onomatopoeia as well as alliteration also, right? So buzzing bees, BB, FFF. So see, sometimes like obviously either of the two options would be given to you, either alliteration or onomatopoeia. If both are given to you, all the very best, because we do not know what examiner is asking to us, like what he wants us to find, whether he wants us to find onomatopoeia or alliteration, right? So this is a important sentence. So like because it has two figures of speech. The roaring lion scared the animals in the jungle. So again, roaring lion associated with the sound. The pitter patter of rain on the window pane was soothing, associated with the sound. Honking geese flew overhead in a V formation. Right. So see, onomatopoeia, as I suggested you earlier, also write the name of the figure of speech, associate something with it, like with onomatopoeia, auditory or sensory experience. With like I have given examples in the previous slide. So with simile, indirect comparison, with metaphor, direct comparison, things like that. Okay, use this so that you do not make any mistake while solving questions, right? So you can get free practice sheet for the figure of speech on our Telegram group. Okay, we'll be uploading it. So you can practice about like practice these figures of speech, and then you can always discuss wherever there is confusion. If you're preparing for NMAT and SNAP, we have a course that has like 150 plus hours of classes. Practice sheets is there, exam specific topics are there. We have like Telegram and WhatsApp group for doubt resolution. You will be getting 10 full length NMAT mocks with this, 20 full length SNAP mocks with this. You'll be getting critical reasoning practice test for NMAT, English grammar practice course, and you will get all this for 5,000 rupees, right? So the price of the course is 5,000. You can always check that out. You can follow the link in the description, or you can always like click on this link and you can see all the stuff that is there. And if you want to have snap mocks on latest patterns, but do follow the link that will be given in the description box. And that was all for the session today. I hope you are like pretty much clear about the figures of speech. We have covered relevant figures of speech which are mostly asked in your exams, right? Otherwise, there are plenty, right? So if you encounter some other figure of speech that you want us to discuss, or you like need any explanation of, you can always leave the comment. Okay. So I'll see you in the next class, and all the very best for your exams. Okay, please keep practicing, please keep asking your doubts, and like excel. All the very best to all of you. Thank you for attending the session. Bye.